Welcome students, I am Dr. Smita Sharma and today we will be discussing monostable multivibrator. So in the previous lecture we had discussed a stable multivibrator. In that we had seen that it has no stable state. Its state switches from 0 to 1, that is from low state to high state. Now here we will discuss monostable multivibrator. So as the name suggests, monostable multivibrator is a multivibrator that has one stable state and the other state is temporary quasi-stable state, and its level transition depends on external triggering pulse. It is also called one-shot multivibrator. So this is block diagram of monostable multivibrator. If a triggering input is applied to the multivibrator, then its initial state, if it is 0, it switches to 1, and then after a certain interval of time it again switches back to 0 state. If initial condition is 1, then on triggering its state changes to 0, and after certain interval it again switches back to 1 state. So one state of the monostable multivibrator is always remains stable. Now we'll discuss monostable multivibrator using two transistors, Q1 and Q2. The term monostable means that this multivibrator has one stable state depending on transistor from which output is taken. If we take output across Q1, then plus VCC will be its stable state, and if we take output across Q2, then 0 will be its stable state. So it entirely depends which state is stable. It depends from where we are taking the output. In our discussion, we will take output across Q2 to be stable state. So from now on, we'll proceed with transistor Q2. Now if we take output across Q2 0 as a stable state, it will remain in this level until and unless a triggering pulse is applied to it. And on application of a triggering pulse, the output will go from 0 to plus VCC. It will remain there till pulse exists and then return back to stable state, and will remain there until and unless another pulse arrives. So how this whole thing happens, we'll discuss through its circuit diagram. So as we had discussed earlier in stable multivibrator also, again here also monostable multivibrator completely depends, the operation of monostable multivibrator completely depends on switching properties of a bipolar junction transistor. We all know in a bipolar junction transistor we have two states. Either it is cutoff state or saturation state. It is termed as on state and off state. It is said to be in on state. A transistor is said to be in on state if supply voltage plus VCC is applied to the collector end as shown in the diagram. And now if we apply an input voltage at the base and that input voltage is less than 0.7 volts, then transistor is said to be in off state. What happens at why it is called an off state? Because when base has input voltage less than 0.7 volt, then it behaves as a negative and no current flows through the transistor. There is no current from collector to the ground. So current is 0, or we can say the collector current is 0, and the output, if we take output from the collector end, we get the output VCE equal to plus VCC, and the transistor is said to be in cutoff state. It behaves as though the connection has been opened. So we can say in this case transistor has an open circuit. or it behaves like an open switch. In the other case, if the input voltage at the base is greater than 0.7 volts, then what happens? Base becomes positive and maximum current flows through the power supply to the ground. In this case, the transistor behaves as a short and maximum current, that is the collector current, is equal to the saturated current, and the output voltage taken from the collector end will in this case will be 0, because collector and emitter will be at same potential. So in this state the transistor is said to be in on state, or it behaves as a short switch. So these are two stages that I have shown here in the diagram. This is on state and this is off state. So these two states, the multivibrator is entirely dependent on these two states. Now we'll see the circuit diagram of monostable multivibrator. So in the picture you can see the monostable multivibrator. Here it is similar, almost similar to a stable multivibrator, but it has slightly one difference. In a stable multivibrator we had capacitor on both sides. It was a symmetrical circuit, but here as you can see from the diagram, the left hand side circuit is same, but here on the right hand side the capacitor has been removed and an additional battery power supply VBB has been connected to the base of the transistor Q1. As already said, we will be taking output from one of the ends, either from Q2 or Q1. So this is the basic circuit. All resistors have been named suitably, and we will discuss one by one. Now what happens? We are taking output here in this diagram. We are taking output through Q2. Now from figure we can see the positive end of plus VBB is connected to the emitter. You can see from here the positive end has been connected to the base of the transistor Q2, and negative end to the base, that is the emitter base junction, is reverse biased. So we can say Q1 is in off state because we have already made the base to be negative. So Q1 is in off state and Q2 is in on state. Now we connect plus VCC by the help of switch. We have initially not connected it. Now with the help of switch we connect it to the circuit. Now what happens? As we know, the Q1 is in cutoff state, so IC across it will be 0. So here the current across the transistor will become 0. And what happens to the potential drop across RL1? The potential drop across RL1 will be equal to VC1 and that will be equal to VCC. Current will be 0, so the potential drop will be maximum plus VCC. Now again from the figure, plus VCC is the potential difference between one end of R2 and ground connected to the emitter of Q2. You can see from the diagram here, plus R2, one end of the R2 is connected to plus VCC and the other end is connected to the base, in turn base, emitter and then to the ground. So in case of R2, one end is extremely positive and other end is extremely negative, and R2 and base emitter junction of Q2 are in series. So because they are in series, it will make this transistor forward bias, this junction forward bias, and Q2 will remain in on state. So what will be the output? Output will be, because it is in on state, maximum current flows through it, it behaves like a short, and the output will be 0. The potential difference across RL2 and with respect to ground will be 0. So here what we will get, we'll get a 0 line, and it will remain in this state only. So the output is 0 volt. Now what happens? We'll be applying positive going pulse at the base of Q1. Now here we had already made, with the help of this battery, we had made this base positive. Now we'll apply a positive going pulse to the base of Q1. Now as we apply the pulse to the base that is positive, what will happen? This will make this base of the transistor positive. As the base of the transistor becomes positive, at once Q1 switches back to on state and maximum current starts flowing through it. So this is also I have written, this will make base emitter junction forward bias and transistor Q1 is in on state. Now what happens? When the transistor Q1 is in on state, then Vc1 will become 0 because maximum current is flowing, and that current will have value I saturated. Saturated current starts flowing. If we take output from here, we'll be getting 0 volts. Now because of this, what happens? The transistor Q2 goes into off state. Now as transistor Q2 goes into off state, the current through the transistor IC2 becomes 0. So when the current becomes 0, the output across the collector becomes plus VCC. So what we will get? We'll get a positive pulse now. As shown in the diagram, we can see here the waveform changes from 0 to plus 1 state or plus VCC state. Now this state has been the transistor will remain in this state for certain time period. This time period entirely depends on RL1 and C1. Why? When the transistor Q1 is in on state, then what happens? The current from plus VCC flows through R1 and RL1 and it goes into Q1 to the ground. Also a current from VCC flows through R2, it passes through S1, C1 and then it goes into Q1 to the ground. So what happens? C1 starts charging slowly and the positive this end becomes positive. So Q2 is in off state because the base of the this transistor has been dropped to minus VCC. Now as this capacitor C1 starts charging, slowly and slowly this capacitor end becomes positive, and in turn the base of the transistor Q2 also becomes positive. So it keeps on rising from minus VCC to it becomes 0 and then it becomes positive. As it becomes 0.7 volt, as the potential reaches 0.7 volts, at once Q2 transistor becomes forward biased. This junction becomes forward biased and Q2 comes into on state. As it comes into on state, at once this transistor Q1 switches off and Q2 switches on, and the pulse in the output switches from plus VCC to again 0 state, and it will remain in this state until and unless another positive pulse is applied to the base of the Q1. So this is the basic working of a monostable multivibrator. Here the switching entirely depends on the time constant which is dependent on R2 and C1. So R2, C1 is the time constant. On adjusting R and C in this here in the diagram, we can suitably change the width of the pulse that is being obtained in the output. So this is the basic monostable multivibrator. Now we'll discuss a square wave generator. Now in multivibrator we had discussed astable multivibrator that has no stable state. In monostable multivibrator it had one stable state. Now in bistable multivibrator we will see that it has two stable state, that is it switches back from it never switches back to its original state. It will only work when a triggering pulse is applied to it. So there will be we will have to supply two triggering pulse every time. So what is the use of this square wave generator? All these multivibrators are very necessary because they can be used as a memory circuits, or we can say that they are essential part of a digital electronics, because here as we have seen that multivibrator has only two states, 0 and 1, and that is necessary in a digital circuits. So here from the multivibrator we can start our digital electronics. All the essential part of the digital electronic entirely starts from here. Now if we discuss a bistable multivibrator, I have already said that it has two stable state. So when a triggering pulse arrive, only then its states changes, and the width of the pulse is entirely dependent on the trigger when the triggering pulse arrives. So it will remain in one state until and unless this triggering pulse is applied to it, and it can record that triggering pulse because it will change state only when the triggering pulse arrives, so it can count it. Now here in your syllabus a square wave generator has been discussed through IC. Here we have used 741 IC to explain a square wave generator. We will be discussing this in detail in our next chapter. I'll just in our next lecture I'll just give you the brief idea. See here 741 has been connected by making C in the input circuit, R as a feedback circuit, and R2 and R1 are the two resistors that are connected to the non-inverting end. So at the inverting end we have C and R, and in the non-inverting end we have R1 and R2. R2 has been taken as variable resistors. This type of circuit behaves like a square wave. It will generate a square wave. Now how it will generate a square wave? Because if we are not providing any feedback to the 741 op-amp, we know it has very high gain and it switches either to positive state or negative state depending on whether the input is applied to the inverting end or the non-inverting end. So this is the basic outline of a bistable multivibrator. The output will switch from positive saturation to negative saturation, and in result we'll get a square wave Here, before discussing bistable multivibrator, we'll be discussing a stable multivibrator using 741. So when an op-amp is forced to operate in its saturated region, square wave outputs are generated. The output of an op-amp is forced to swing repetitively between positive saturation, that is plus Vsat VCC, and negative saturation minus Vsat minus VEE, which results in square wave output. So we can say that this is a square wave generator, or because it is switching states automatically without any triggering pulse will be, we can term it as astable multivibrator or free running multivibrator. It can be made in various ways. One of the circuit has been shown here in this figure. Here the output of the op-amp will be in positive or negative saturation depending on whether the differential voltage VID, here this is VID, is positive or negative. So if VID is positive, then we'll get a positive pulse, and if VID is negative, we'll be getting negative pulse or zero state, low state. So this is the basic free running multivibrator made through IC. This is the output of such a circuit. See here, this is positive and negative saturation, and I have also made a sawtooth wave here. This we will be discussing the working of this sawtooth, how do we get this sawtooth wave. We will be discussing. This is basically voltage across the capacitor that is plotted with respect to time. This we will be discussing in the next lecture. Thank you.